Stinished It is recorded on the unceded lands of the Wurundjeri Woiwurrung people. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and to any First Nations people listening.
We acknowledge the long history of storytelling undertaken on this land.
Welcome back to Stinished It, the podcast where we chat about things we've started, finished, and what we're looking forward to. I'm Jett, and I'm kind of sick. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I've been sick for like 4 weeks, but I'm ready here to do the podcast again today. And with me, as always, is co-host
Reuben. I'm Reuben, and we're both talking in a weirdly presentational way because we spent all weekend selling things.
We did spend all weekend selling things. We were both at PAX for my card game, Wrong Answers Only, presenting that to the world.
PAX, which I always think stands for something but doesn't?
No, I think it stands for something.
Something Expo?
Playing all experiences.
Nice.
But like the you don't do the E. It's just experiences.
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 There's always those children's books that do one word starting from every letter of the alphabet, and it's always fascinating to see what they do with X. It's do they go for X-ray? Do they go xylophone? How do you teach kids X?
What's the third word that starts with X?
Couldn't tell you. I couldn't think of a single one. That's a name. It's proper
okay,
noun.
it's still a word.
Sure. Xanthan gum?
Okay,
that's the one that I always, that's my emergency X word.
All right. What's another one? I don't know.
No, I literally can't think of a single one.
There's probably some weird scientific one maybe.
Oh, there must be heaps.
I've got another drink today. I brought another drink.
Xerox? Is that a brand name though? So is it a proper noun?
Yeah, but we were doing Xavier.
Yeah.
Xavier's a proper noun.
Yep.
Do you want to hear about my drink? I realized we couldn't think of any more X words.
Okay.
So I decided
to
talk about my drink.
Okay.
And do a little segue.
Okay.
It wasn't a good segue. Do you want to hear about it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, thank you. My drink today, I got a bunch of drinks to get me through PAX and anyone who was helping me out with PAX. Mm-hmm. So I bought a bunch of oat latte, oat mocha coffee in a can, as well as a couple of Red Bulls. Now, I don't drink Red Bull. And famously, on this podcast, I use it as an excuse to get rid of drinks that I wouldn't be drinking otherwise.
Great.
So I have in here, in this nice Mason rustic jar, a can of purple edition Red Bull. I don't know what that means. I assume it's regular Red Bull.
It looks like really strong cordial. It looks like cordial that you've poured at a 2-to-1 ratio, but not the 2-to-1 that you think.
Yeah, like
more cordial than water. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that, and then some Fireball as well.
Oh, great. Yeah. Why not? And a lemon.
There's a lemon in there and some ice.
And some ice. I hope you put some new ice in the thing.
I didn't.
Gonna be out of ice again.
We're not gonna be out of ice. There's plenty of ice. I looked in there. There was plenty of ice.
We weren't even out of ice last week when I complained about it.
Anyways, I haven't tasted it yet. I thought I should taste it.
Oh, live on air.
Right. Well, I want to do this for you, Reuben. I feel in case you want to sip, I feel like I should have a sip first.
We'll see.
Ooh. It's not bad.
That's nice.
I think that the cinnamony of the Fireball.
Oh yeah.
Kind of
offsets, does it?
Offsets, yeah. The sweetness of the Red Bull.
I wonder what Ollie would have to say about that.
I don't know.
Did you add salt?
I didn't add salt.
You didn't add salt?
Maybe I should have gone and added salt.
Maybe you should have added salt.
I don't know if this counts as a cocktail.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's got a mixer and it's got some alcohol.
That's a good
And it's got some ice.
That's true. Do you want to try some?
No.
Okay. Well.
Maybe if you add salt.
I can go down and add salt. Do you want me to add salt? I will leave right now.
I want you to add salt, but then I'm obligated to try some, which I really don't want to do, so I don't want you to add salt.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Excuses is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Tell while I get some of this down, tell the audience what we do here.
Cool. Too easy. So what we do here on this podcast is we just talk for a couple of hours, really. But what we try to do...
hours?
What we meant... Well, maybe not today.
Hours?
We're in a rush. Hours.
I can't do that. I've got things to do.
No? Oh, what? Okay. What have you got to do?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, I would. Wow, fine. Clearly it's above my pay grade.
I can do this for maybe 36 minutes.
36
and
minutes?
47 seconds
Okay.
maximum.
Well, that'll be about the end of the first topic of the first section, so that's perfect.
Oh my God, this sounds like a lot. Why?
It's a lot.
Why did you do this? Why did you structure this podcast in a way that makes us talk forever?
Well, I don't know. Last week you were the one who was like, "What if I did my following up for you? You were structure and anarchist. You were
I'll do
chaotic
anything.
evil. Yeah,
I am famously crazy. and
you
I
are
will do
crazy and you will
anything.
do anything." But what we try to do here on this podcast is we each cover something that we have started recently. Could be a piece of media, often it is, or it could be something that's come up in our lives, and then something that we finished. And then we have the section Up and Up, where we talk about things from last time that we're following up on and things that are coming up.
Nice. Cool. Sounds great.
Mm.
Did you want to do any more preamble?
No.
Do you have anything else fun to say?
No,
Do you want to...
I'm out of jokes.
You're out of jokes?
Yeah, I know, and we're right at the start.
We are out at the start. It's also been a while since we recorded. Our last
fine.
episode that we recorded was like 2 weeks ago.
It's fine.
And I've had a hell of a 2 weeks.
Yeah, you
And so
have.
I'm very out of practice. So if
That's
today's
okay.
episode is worse than the other ones,
Yeah.
that's on me. But if it's better than the other ones, that's
Then-
also on me.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yes.
exhausted.
Yeah.
Am I not meant to have Red Bull and alcohol together? Like, I know they sell that as a thing, like vodka Red Bulls. But
I feel like they're both uppers, so you're fine?
alcohol is not an upper.
Oh, you're
Alcohol's
right.
a downer.
No, that's what you're not meant to do. You're not meant to mix them.
Yeah. And I also had my meds this morning and a coffee.
Yeah. So we could be going any which way.
We could
here.
be going any which way.
Great.
I think it's going to be a really good episode.
For a given definition of the word good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want me to start? Can I start this week? Can
Sure.
we just jump right into it? Because
Yeah,
again,
let's
I
go.
do have somewhere to be.
Let's get it done.
We have to. No, I've got somewhere to be.
I also have somewhere to be. We have somewhere to be together.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my thing doesn't include you.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might be late for another thing then.
No.
No?
No, I got my day planned.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't
tell
include
us.
you.
Tell us what you've started.
Okay, I'll tell you what I've started. I have started the new season of Sex Education. Yeah,
Yay. Great.
it's a great show.
Fantastic.
It's really,
Yes.
really good.
Yep.
Love the first 3 seasons. Is this the fourth season?
Mm-hmm.
It is. Great. So basically, the other night,
Fourth and final.
fourth and final, in preparation for PAX, I was frantically getting things ready. I was painting a tablecloth at the time to make it have like squares of all the different colors in my card game. But I also wanted to relax a bit and watch a show. So we decided to watch a show together. We decided to watch some sex education, the first episode of season 4. And I don't know what happened. So I thought...
You didn't see any of it.
Yeah, because I was racking my brain before this. I was like, what have I started? Well,
Yeah.
I know I've started
Yeah.
sex education, but I actually don't have anything to say about it because I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
So what I thought this could be is you
Oh.
could tell me what happened in that episode of the show that we watched together.
So what you're suggesting is that this format, this rhythm that we have where one of us gets a break and then one of us talks for a bit, what
Yeah.
you're going to do is make me do all the hard work of your section, then you just get to chip in with unhelpful stuff in your own section.
Baby, I've been talking all weekend, all PAX.
You know what? That's fair.
Thank you.
Ridiculous.
Tell me what happened in this episode.
Okay, everyone's back.
Do you want to explain what sex education is as
No,
well?
you should explain what sex education
Oh.
is since this is your section.
God damn it. I tried to trick you there. It didn't work.
Nice try.
Sex Education, it's a Netflix show starring Asa Butterfield and other people.
Other people.
Shuri
Other
Gatwa,
good people. Mm-hmm,
Emma
Mackey. Who was in Barbie.
Yep. So was Shuri Gatwa. They
Yep.
were like, Shh,
Yep.
Asa Butterfield, you're not coming in for this. I guess doesn't fit into that Barbie
I guess
aesthetic.
not. Could have played Alan.
Yeah, could have played Alan. So it's a show based in somewhere in the UK. I don't know.
Yeah, it's vague.
England?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And we have the main character Otis, played by Asa Butterfield, and his mum is a sex therapist, and so
Awkward.
yep, I'm just gonna move right past that. His mum is a sex therapist, and so when he's at high school and all of his friends start going through all these sexual problems, he's like, you know what? I know about some of this stuff. I'm going to become a sex therapist for all the people at my school.
There are no ethical or social implications that arise from this.
None at all. And he also, there's a bit of irony there where he has his own sexual problems and doesn't know like really how to approach those, but he's good to give advice to other people. Anyways,
Awkward.
First 3 seasons were great, and then there's the 4th season. And why don't I tell you what I remember from this episode?
Yes, do that,
and then you
I'll
can fill in
plug
the
gaps.
gaps.
Yeah.
So, in this episode, they're at a new school for some reason. And the new school seems fancy and inclusive for some reason. And some of the characters are there, like Otis and his best friend. What's Shooty Gutwood's character's name? Eric.
Yes.
Otis and Eric are like at this school, and some of the other people from the school are at this new school, and some of them aren't, like Emma Mackey's character, and for some reason. And
I feel like you didn't need to watch the episode. I feel like you needed to watch the recap of season 3. Because so far all of the gaps have been like, for some reason, it's like, it's because of what happened last time.
Also, at one point in the show, the character of Otis, his penis is shown on a big display monitor for some reason. And also, no, that's it. That's actually all I have. Can you fill in the gaps there? Did I miss much?
Honestly, no. Like, you're kind of fine. Otis's mum, Jean, played by Gillian Anderson, has a baby. Otis has a new little sister, and she's a couple of months old. And those two are running around because neither of them really have time to care for her. Otis has got, like, school, and Jean's trying to get, like, a new job, and they're real stressed about that. And the person who she goes in for a job interview with is Hannah Gadsby, which was a real fun surprise.
Sorry, I was mid-drink. You could have kept talking while I was fumbling there.
You clearly wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say Hannah Gadsby's great. Love Hannah.
Yep.
That's it. That's all. Continue.
Great. Yep.
Yeah, I forgot Hannah Gadsby was in it for some reason.
Everyone's got like their own subplot going on, but I feel like it's fine.
Like a show?
No.
Like a show with multiple characters?
Yeah, a show with multiple characters.
With subplots.
That's what a show is.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What are you saying?
I'm trying to, I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you want to explain this thing or not?
No, you explain it.
Look,
Continue.
most of them are following on from season 3. I think they've finally decided that Moordale is a terrible school. I don't know why you couldn't see it earlier. Or maybe just had a succession of really bad principals. Remember, I really had... season 3 was so frustrating. Do you remember the principal? Do you remember Hope?
No.
Do you remember how she hung the signs on the kids and made them walk on each side of the line and like...
No.
Really?
No.
Wow, she was terrible and like so frustratingly terrible. That it was like, terrible. Is this like good writing and I hate her like I hate Umbridge, or is this bad writing? Because at the end they were like, she's struggling with infertility and that explains, but doesn't justify, but explains her actions because she's looking for control in her life. It was just like, look. So people have realised that Moordale's not a great school and all these kids have gone up the road to this new place which looks very expensive. They've got like a pool and a gym and like a bunch of... They've all got iPads that they do their schoolwork on, and Mr. Groff is there teaching as a substitute teacher, and Adam's dropped out. Is this what you wanted?
I think so.
Like a recap of just like everything I vaguely remember?
Yes.
And Eric's meeting new friends and struggling with... Well, they're all struggling with like not being a gossip because that's discouraged at the school, but also like people want to talk about what's going on. Otis has a competition. He wanted to open a new sex therapy clinic, but someone else is running one that's super popular.
He has a competition or has competition?
He has competition.
Okay, he's not like running a sex competition. It's like whoever can have the most safe sex anywhere in the school. No. You have to find a new place each time. And then you'll win something.
It's like Pokemon Go.
It's Pokemon Go. Try and have sex at all the different places in the school, and then we're going to have a big battle in the cafeteria, which is just an orgy.
Except because it's the 8th movie, we're going to film it outside, which makes no sense. There's going to be no one around, which doesn't make any sense.
What are you talking?
Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
You should know exactly what I'm talking about.
Because they're just like both British teenage shows?
What? No, because you said something about big competition happening at the end. And
Yeah,
I was
because you
like,
said a big competition. Like,
I'm just so angry at Harry Potter. I'm angry at the Deathly
Oh
Hallows
my
Part 2,
God.
and I will take any opportunity to bring it up. And there's one more important thing that happened. Oh yeah, right near the start of the episode, Maeve sends a sext. Can you use that as a singular noun?
Yes.
It sounds wrong. To Otis, and he spends almost the entire episode not even replying, like not even sending a message.
I don't think you can, actually. Never mind. I take it back. I think you have to say sex Otis, but that sounds worse.
No, that's worse. Maeve is sexting Otis.
Yeah.
Because that's the only conjugation of that verb that we accept, I guess.
But that
doesn't
makes it sound like Otis is reciprocating.
I know. Yeah.
Sends an explicit photo to Otis.
Yes.
I did it. There you go. I fixed
Thank
it.
you for fixing my sentence. And Otis is super anxious about like how to reply and about his own body, and so just does nothing. And Eric's like, you got to send something, or even just like send a message explaining like what's going on for you. Just radio silence for multiple days. And then at the end of the episode, he just, I think, explains what happened. And they're like, what? How can we? Because they're trying to do a long distance relationship.
Sure.
In America.
Okay. So wait. Okay. So there's a sexting thing.
You
going
saw
on.
this. I guess you didn't see this episode.
I didn't
You
see
heard
any
half of this
this.
episode.
So why was there big photos of?
Otis had
penis
taken those photos when it was like, maybe I can send these, and then he was giving us. There's a spot at the school where you can give a speech, and anyone can just rock up and do like a speech, and everyone can listen. Like, I don't know, like the Agora in ancient Greece or something. And he goes to give a speech about his new sex therapy clinic to try to get some publicity.
Gotcha.
And he plugs his phone in, and it sends he does wrong images.
Okay.
He does a classic wrong images, and then he unplugs it, and then it Bluetooth. It's so awkward and awful, and the whole school is watching. It's terrible.
Yeah, I just looked over at one point and I was like, oh, that's like a full.
It's so
Those
bad.
are full nudes.
Every
that are
time
being shown on the
I
show.
haven't watched this show for a while and I come back to it, I forget how, not like graphic, but just like how explicit it is. It's like, yeah, we're just doing this.
Yeah. It starts off, it does the classic sex education season 1. Episode 1 of each season. Do a big sex montage.
Yes, and there was that. Yes.
There was that,
You were sitting down for that.
Yeah. I sat down, I watched that, and I was like, cool, I've seen everything I need to see.
I've seen the sex montage. I'm going
now
now.
I need to start working on my prep for PAX.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I think I get
I think
a good
that's
rundown.
most of it.
Brilliant. That's all I
Yeah,
need.
and like Vivian's like really wants to do well, and so is saying no to social things, and like I bumped the table. And
Stop bumping. You're bumping everything. You're hitting your chair, arms on your chairs, and it's going.
arms
Dum,
my
dum.
arms aren't even on the.
I'm
arms
here.
of the
No,
chair.
they were before.
They were just before I
No,
lifted them up. I should take the arms off this chair.
Yeah.
Just add to the podcasting prep.
God.
Yeah. So, what's Jackson up to? Not much.
I didn't
that's-
need a rundown. I just need the cliff notes. That's
Yeah.
all I
Well,
need.
that's them.
Cool. Is it worth watching?
This is
Was it
your
worth
section.
starting? No.
This is your
I've
section.
never seen this show in my life. Is it worth starting?
Yeah, start it. Yeah.
Yeah, start it?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, even my parents watch this show.
Really?
I say even my parents because they have like next to no time in their lives for television. So the fact that they made time for this is like, wow, they
Cool.
must have enjoyed it.
Who would you recommend it to?
This is your.
I haven't seen this, Reuben.
You've seen 3 seasons of this show.
No, but the thing is, I really feel like I cannot recommend it to people because I haven't seen this season 4 that we're talking about.
If you like the other ones, this is more of the other ones.
What do you
If
want me to do? Say,
had problems with season 3, maybe they fixed. I don't know.
do you want me to say, hey, I've watched this show, now I'm going to recommend it to people?
Yes.
This is an informative podcast where people
No,
get to
it's
learn
not.
about the show. Now you've just given them cliff notes about what happened. You haven't even, like what? You've just given a bit of a rundown. Now they don't even have to watch episode 1. They don't get to
They can watch episode
enjoy
1.
it.
I
and
didn't
get
tell
to-
them what
You should have
Maureen's
given-
up to.
You should have told them the feeling that they get from the
I
show
didn't tell
rather than
them
what happened.
Amy's up to. I didn't even tell you the resolution to the Otis and Maeve stuff.
That's a good point. But you didn't tell the feel. What's the value of this show?
I don't know. It's fun.
What do you mean you
funny,
don't know?
It's heartwarming.
You just recommended it as a thing to start.
Oh my god. This is.
It's funny, it's heartwarming. Is it informative? Are you like, that's a good
Now, we
sex
love to
knowledge.
complain about this. We love to complain about the fact that it has never hit the heights of season 1 in terms of people just coming in with their problems and then being resolved. Do we like to You've mentioned that before.
Sorry, I haven't.
You've definitely mentioned that
I don't
before.
think
You were
I-
like, they stopped doing the clinic and I missed the clinic.
I don't remember.
You've
any of
literally
this.
said that to me.
I don't think so.
Okay,
I don't
so
think
that's
I've
a thing
seen
that
season
you...
one.
What?
Would you recommend season one?
Yes,
Starting
season 1 is maybe the
it? Who
best.
would you recommend it to?
Anyone...
What about season 2 and season 3? I don't think I've actually seen it. Can
They're
you
good.
recap those?
No.
What happened in season
I've
1,
already
season
recapped
2?
season 3.
Okay, what about season 1 and 2?
Season 1, you meet everyone.
Cool, great. Season 2.
Okay, let me recap it. Season 1,
Mm-hmm.
Maeve and Otis don't get together.
Okay,
Season 2, Maeve and Otis don't get together.
great.
Season 3, Maeve and Otis and Ruby get together. Maeve and
Cool.
Otis get together. Ruby and Otis split up. Maeve and Otis split up. Season 4, last one. What's going to happen? Don't know.
Okay.
You ship Ruby and Otis, don't you?
Yeah, they were fun.
Yeah.
I just really
Yeah.
like Ruby. Is
Yeah.
Ruby back in this episode?
Oh, yeah, Ruby's back. Ruby's back without her
Oh, that's
friends.
fun.
And she's like, where do I sit? It's real sad.
Cool.
Also, she drove onto campus, and everyone was like, "You should ride a bike. You got to park on the other side. We're all real green and whatever." Which I don't know why I'm saying that in a sarcastic voice, but it was like, guys, this is a new person coming to your school. Be nice and help them learn. You know?
Aren't they anti-gossip or whatever you said before?
Well, that's the thing. Are they? They try to be. They're not.
Okay.
I think that's going to be a thing.
Cool. Great. All right. So
No.
recommend this to whoever you
No.
think. I haven't seen the show. I don't know what it's like.
Well, I'm refusing. I've told you enough about it. You can figure it out.
Fuck.
You can be discerning consumers.
I recommend it to people who I recommend it to people or who don't like British people, who hate their high school experience and don't want to have anything to do with that, would rather move on with their lives, who feel really awkward about sex things and are happy feeling awkward about that and don't want to know anything about it, who don't like watching TV, who don't like the company Netflix because they're sort of like just they keep upping their streaming prices and it's not worth it. Who don't like characters who are in other things such as Barbie.
Yeah.
Specifically didn't like Shooty Gatwa or Emma Mackey in Barbie.
I feel like Adam, the actor who plays Adam, was also in Barbie at Mattel.
Oh yes, that's true. Who really like mean principals and Umbridge.
Yeah.
And want to see them thrive. Who, look, I'm starting to run out of things. Recommend it to people who feel uncomfortable when you're just randomly shown a big nude in the middle of a show. I'm getting this right. You asked me to recommend this to people. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
So what you've done is the opposite.
I don't know. I haven't seen it. If you want to correct me, feel free to correct me and recommend it to the right people.
No, that's a great recommendation.
Okay, you're happy with people going off of that.
I'm happy with people taking your words and forming their own opinion of them.
I'm just saying, to be clear, I've only said
hands
this
are in the air. Like, I'm not touching. I'm not
because
guilty.
You told me to
I'm not
recommend
touching my
a
gun.
show that I haven't seen. So, if anyone complains, that's on you. Reuben, what have you started?
I have started applying for grants.
So you say there's a chance.
Ugh. Fucking bureaucracy. All right, let's go. What's the bureaucracy?
Wait for my coming up. It's taxes.
Oh,
you got 2 weeks, everyone. It's coming.
Tell
it's
me-
coming so fast.
Tell me about you applying for grants.
Okay, sure, I will.
Why are you applying for
I'm
grants?
applying for 2 so far. I'm applying for grants because I want to make work. And when the arts industry, there's no money to be employed like a regular person. We're basically all contractors. Like, I am more... The way that I work is more similar to, like, my family members who are, like, tilers and builders than it is to anyone with any form of stable ongoing income. Except that I don't make any money and I don't get any projects. Make sense?
I think.
Yeah. So basically what you do is there's a very, very small pool of money
Yep.
and everyone reaches their hand into the small pool
Where's
of
the
money.
pool held?
Like councils.
Brunswick Bars? Like Brunswick
Yeah,
Bar-
they
okay.
just fill one pool with 5-cent pieces every year. And it's
It's not
just
even,
like
like,
you run in
notes?
on January 1st and like however much you can like scoop up. No, it's not notes. That'd be too much.
Do you
There's no money
Scrooge
for that.
McDuck it?
You can dive in. Yeah, you can dive in.
Is that Scrooge McDuck? Whatever the one in that thing.
They actually put like a few $2 coins there. You know how like
Oh.
sometimes they put a little bit of money in like puddings?
What? No,
That's a
what?
thing? No, that's a there's like
What?
it's like a Christmas thing.
You're
in
gonna
some-
bite into it? You're gonna
Yeah,
swallow
yeah,
metal?
and everyone's like, okay, everyone, have fun, and then they all go and slowly nibble away at their pudding because there's like a 20-cent piece in there for luck or whatever.
Why would you? Oh.
Yeah, it's a weird tradition. I think
Yeah,
it's
good
from-
luck. You're gonna
I
go to
think
the
it's from
hospital
England.
later.
Yeah.
Have to get someone to cut open your stomach
Yeah.
to find a bit of metal rotting away.
Mm.
Okay. I don't
Anyway,
like that.
so we all reach our hands into the giant pool of coins.
Gobble up some coins.
And then
And then
council or like an independent board of assessors or whoever like runs around the edge of the pool and stomps on like 49 hands, and then like one person gets like a tiny bit of the money
is it
to
just
go and
luck,
make a thing.
or do they choose who?
No, it's not
whose
luck,
hand they're
it's-
stomping on.
You know, they choose. Yeah,
Okay. How do they choose?
I'm
which
making
hand-
all these like bureaucrats sound really mean, but they're just doing their job.
Their job is stomping on hands.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty mean. That sounds
Stomping
like
on the
mean
hands of
job.
artists, yeah. And then at some point you get an email that most likely says, sorry, try again next time, or whatever.
When's next time? How often do they do these?
Oh, often yearly.
Bring people in so we can stomp on their hands for fun.
Often yearly.
Yearly.
Yeah, well, like people use the Brunswick baths. You know, they can't be emptying that every few months.
Why
so
not?
they do it like
Seems pretty lucrative. They have enough money to fill the Brunswick bars. I feel like
with
they could.
tiny coins. It doesn't add up to as much as you might think.
Okay, how much does it add up to?
Well, it depends. It depends who you are. So, like, City of Melbourne give away bunches of up to 4,000. I think they do something like 20 of those a year.
Mm.
So that's like 80,000.
Mm. That's pretty good.
And-
How much does each individual person grabbing money maybe get?
You mean the people who are successful, or all of us who are reaching in?
Well, all of you who are reaching in who get your hands stomped
most
on,
of us
you
who are
get
reaching in
none.
get nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, so the
correct.
people who get.
Yeah, well, there's usually a maximum, and you can go anywhere under that. So, like, the City of Melbourne Quick Response Arts grants are up to 4,000.
Okay.
And then I think they have a big one at the start of the year that's up to 20, like
Mhm.
not a quick response one, a chunky one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, there's a youth venue called Signal Arts, which also runs out of the City of Melbourne. And this was a weird one. They are offering between 5,000 and 8,000.
Oh.
And so the initial way I did the budget was like, I'm going to make it as cheap as possible because that's like potentially more attractive to them. And also I just don't want to spend money that I don't need to. Like I need to pay the artists and can minimize everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And it was under 5,000 and I was like, oh,
I better.
I
Spend
guess
more
I give
money.
us more money. Like,
Right.
it was a very weird experience.
Where did you add money? Also, what are you applying for? Like, what are you planning on doing with
Yeah,
this?
like, well, I've suggested a work. This is actually one of the things I found super helpful about it. I wrote the first one out and I was like, this is nothing. I was quite like short on the deadline. I only left myself like a week to do it. And it was, I'm going to be honest, pretty bad.
Mm.
It was just really general. It's just like, we'll make something
Oh, okay.
bad. But then once I'd had time to think about it and get excited, by the time I wrote the second one, I had like an idea. And through the process of writing it, I was like, this is like this is an idea that I might make anyway.
Mm.
Which, I mean, there's a lot of things that suck about the grants, like all the unpaid hours, the deadlines, the like statistically.
What do you mean
tiny.
unpaid? You got money for
Well,
chucking
if
your
you're
hand in.
successful, you get money for the project,
Mm.
but that doesn't include, for example, the hours that you spent submitting or any of that
Well,
stuff.
You could, if you're going under, you could use that bumping up.
Also, the 3 hours I spent this afternoon making up this budget.
Exactly.
Not sure if they'll go for that.
No, I feel like application process. That's part of the work.
Well, it's part of the work. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and by the time you've written it out, or I was like, that's fully an idea.
Mm.
So that was kind of, I guess, one of the trade-offs. It's like, well, at least you're engaging in idea making.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
Excellent.
Mm.
So, how many grants have you applied for? Have you just picked
2.
2? Okay.
2.
There was the first quick one, and then the second longer one that you had more time to think about what was going on.
Correct.
Nice.
And then I'll keep going, I guess. But like, yeah, it just, I don't know. In one sense, it's validating because it's like, oh, this is what like quote unquote real artists do.
Mm.
And in another sense, It's depressing because it's like, oh, this is what real artists do.
This is what real artists have to do. Spend a lot of time writing up the things that they want to do.
And also, there's a bunch of weird questions. Like, you pay yourself a fee. You have to do that, which is good. But then also, like, there's, I've talked before about how it's like, not all dance projects and companies offer like a robust audition process. We had a complaint about that after we went to see 4-4. And then I've realized that, like, well, at what point does that responsibility start? Because the way I'm doing it for these tiny grants is talking to people who I think would be interested and valuable to the project and proposing to pay them for their work as artists. And that excludes everyone else. But it's like the project also doesn't exist. And I'm really reluctant to take people's time and like ask for their CVs and details and attention when statistically it's just like not going to happen. Right. Or at least it won't be paid. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, where does my responsibility to the communities as a choreographer or employer start?
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
It's a bit different. I don't know. In my opinion, starting a creative project and including other people before, like in that initial process is different to the project has started and then we're going to cast the people that we already know, you know?
But
yeah,
but like I have to cast now.
You have to cast now?
I mean, no, I guess I could. No, that's true. You don't. You could say, I'm going to pay a dancer $30 an hour for, 12 hours of work. That'll cost this much.
Yeah,
you could do that.
That's how it would absolutely work. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that.
I'm pretty sure that's how employment works.
Well, yeah, but like, so the second one that I did said, like, who are you doing it with? Give me their CVs. It's right. So I can't, I can't audition this or cast this afterwards. It's very strange.
You could ask them and say, hey.
Yeah, you probably could. But it's that question then of like.
What's the question?
I don't know. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah.
I mean, it's a performance. People audition for a performance. I can't imagine they'll be like, hold on. You don't know? You don't know who you're using for this? Yeah. You wanna, try and see who the best for this would be? That doesn't...
Yeah.
No, you need to have people set there and they also can't get sick. It cannot change at any point.
Yeah. Well, one thing that is nice about these grants is they acknowledge, they're like, just tell us your idea. You've got 400 or 500 words, whatever it is. We know that it'll change. It's like, oh, thank goodness. Because, things shift as soon as you rock up in the studio. It's like, we're not doing any of that anymore, actually.
No, that's also very short. That's not many words to present a pitch for an idea.
I thought it was about right.
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's short. Yes, it's short, but because of that, you're forced to be concise.
When would you do this? And
also, like, it's 100 words.
Yeah. When would you do this performance? This one that you're...
They give you restrictions, so it depends on what you get.
Okay.
Because it's for them, it's all about, like, budgeting and costs and outcomes and things. So they normally have, like, a 6-month chunk or, like, we can offer you the studio in this time, then you need to present before month X or whatever it is.
Okay, and do you get the profits or organize the profits from this show, or does that go to them? Like, is this
Again, depends who you are. And so some of them won't ask, some of them, some are like a more residency-based model that's like, we'll give you this and then you'll present like a work in progress. Some of them are more like, will you charge for this?
Right.
That sort of thing. But as far as I understand, that generally you can make a profit. But this is something I need to talk to someone who knows more about. Yeah, not sure.
Okay. Do you know, and many other people who've done this process? Like, do you have other reference points? Like, people can...
Yeah. Well, actually, you can look through the lists of previous recipients.
Oh, cool.
Which is interesting. And be like, oh, that's like a mid-career artist who's been working for 20 years. Nice to know that I'm going up against them. Great. Right, so that gives you an indication.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you feel very confident?
Oh, no, I won't get either of these. But it's about starting a process and a way of thinking.
Sure. I mean, you never know. You can't. It's always no's until you. What's
no news is
you never know until your response is always a yes, no. If your response is a no, then you don't get it. But if it's a yes, then you do get it. That's the phrase, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm going to say yeah.
Great. Would you recommend starting this?
No.
Okay.
Do anything you can to avoid it.
All right.
It sucks.
Who would you recommend? I guess you wouldn't, yeah.
Well, no, I guess like if you have an idea, like especially if you don't have to kickstart the idea I did it in a kind of weird reversed way, but if you think about it a little bit ahead of time, or just know that there are opportunities out there, and then next time when you have that like kind of pinprick of an idea, you don't have to go like, meh, like write it down.
Okay.
Write it down on a big list and at some point go, oh, that's an actual idea. Then you'll have it ready to actually write something about, rather than, I don't know, we'll get in the studio and make something practice, something contemporary.
I would stomp on your hand if you said that to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm actually considering it. Do you mind just
No,
placing your hand?
you don't need to stop on my hand.
I got a big boot on.
Unless
right
you're putting
now.
money
I got
on
a big boot
offer.
on.
We could turn it
I'm
into a
ready to stomp
game.
you.
You
see my big boot, Reuben?
You can put a bunch of money on the far side. I see your big boot.
You see my big boot?
I see your big boot.
Look how big my boot is.
I can see your big
it's
boot.
4 feet tall. I got 3
It's
foot
so
platforms.
big. It's so big.
The last foot is my foot.
The last foot.
I have 1 foot and then 3 feet of platforms.
Right.
It's just 3 chopped
so
off
just to
feet
be clear,
at
your
the bottom of my...
Your 1 foot. Your foot
I got
is
a
1
shoe made
foot
of
tall,
feet.
not long but tall.
Yes.
It's a really tall foot.
Yeah.
It's just like a block of flesh.
Yeah, and then I got 3 more blocks of flesh under it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
4 feet platforms.
Yeah. Wonderful.
How tall am I? How tall are feet?
Feet?
Is a feet a foot?
Well, we would both be like 5 foot something.
My foot isn't doing too well. I've been standing for so many days.
So many days.
Also, like these feet shoes are not doing.
These feet shoes.
They don't.
Shoes
provide,
made of human feet.
Yeah, they don't provide as much comfort as you'd think.
They'd be quite wobbly, I imagine.
Yeah, you'd
they
think
wouldn't
the
provide
flesh would
like
be
support.
nice and, like squishy. It's still got the bones in it.
Yeah.
So it's a bunch of bones like stacked on top of each other, so it's real.
Real
yeah. Wobbly.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah. I should take these off at some point. Or I should start stomping on hands more.
Don't stomp on hands.
They
It'll
got
make a
bones,
weird,
it'll
like,
crush
fleshy
'em.
smacking sound.
Smack, smack, smack,
Ugh,
smack, smack.
Yuck. What have you finished, Jeff?
What have I finished?
What have you finished?
What do you think I finished, Reuben?
What do I think you've finished, PAX?
Yeah, I finished doing a booth at PAX Australia 2023.
You guys ready for PAX?
Whoa. Oh God.
Have you really finished, though, when you think about it?
No, I haven't. I have so much left to do. I do have relief that it's done now, but...
Yeah, good. You should be proud and you should be relieved. Like,
Thank you.
It was a big effort.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had a booth at PAX for my card game Wrong Answers Only, which is out now. You can go to the website wronganswersgame.com and order it. And basically, PAX was my big announcement of the game to the public. It was the first time I'd really shown it off to anyone and everyone. It was also my first time at PAX ever. I'd been to other conventions, but it was the first time at PAX, first time ever having a booth. It was a lot of first times for me. And it was a lot. Not only was like the show a lot, setup was a lot, prep for it was a lot. I've been prepping for this for ages. I don't even know where to start. Do you want to? Where should I start?
Well, like,
Give me some
what
questions.
was it like? Just like in the moment, like day to day. So like, there was obviously heaps of prep beforehand and after. But like, when you were on the booth talking to people, what was it like?
Most
Tell
of
us
the
about
time,
it.
it was really fun and quite exhilarating. Some of the time, it was tiring. But honestly, it was probably the most tiring in the gaps between talking to people. Also, everyone was lovely. Thank you to everyone who came. It was
How
so
good was
nice.
everyone?
Everyone was
The
amazing.
whole community.
The whole community, from the other designers to the people just coming to enjoy PAX. It was all great, and everyone was so nice. Everyone wanted to hear about the game, even if I was just like, hey, have you heard of this? Would you mind if I told you a bit about Wrong Answers Only? They were always like, yeah, sounds great. And a lot of them played a game. Like most people who could play a round of the game could. We had our most common issue was there weren't enough seats for people to join.
Yeah.
So we're constantly playing games. Also, big thank you to all the people who came and helped me at the booth. Reuben, you helped me on the first day set up, and then you ditched 2 hours in. So screw you for that. Thank you to Alex and Bailey for jumping in on the rest of the Friday to help me out. Thank you to Esther, who helped me all of Saturday. That was amazing. That was the biggest day So amazing to have help there.
PAX sold out of tickets on Saturday, didn't they? Like entry tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, PAX on Saturday always sells out. And then Sunday, Reuben, thank you for coming and helping with all of that day.
Not dipping after a couple of hours.
Not dipping, helping me do some pack up as well. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. What about that?
I didn't. I've basically just
We
finished
hunted
pack up.
room 4.1.
Yes.
So hard. We were like Craven the Hunter in there. We were like, where is it? Tell us where it is. Tell us who can tell us who to find so that they can tell us who to go to tell us where it is.
At one point, because 4.1, basically we have issues with trying to pack up and like when we could if we could take stuff out on the Monday instead of on Sunday after.
This is like in the convention center, like in the big warehouse part of it. So there's like giant loading doors. There's like bay after bay after bay. It's just like a big room. And PAX closed up at 6 for like the. Oh, do you want to say what happened at 6 when the crowds had to leave?
Oh God, no! You explain what happened at 6.
And so this was like a lot of booths really quickly wrapped up and headed, but we had a fair bit of stuff, and Jett was going to come and pick it up the following day. So we were like, "Can we leave this here?" And a few people said yes, and a few people indicated like, "No, maybe you have to move it somewhere." And so we were quite worried about like, please don't like throw out or dispose of or move this stuff. And so we went on like a massive round trip of.
The whole convention center.
Yeah, trying to find someone who could answer this question.
We got told, look for the person in the yellow and black kilt. We found a person in a red and blue kilt.
Yep.
And we're like, okay, it's not that person, but weird that there's 2 people in kilts.
Yep.
And then we talked to some other people and they said, oh, yeah, red and black kilt, but this person might be able to help you or tell you where they are. And that person was the person in the red and blue kilt. So any kilt helped, I guess.
Yeah.
And then we had to find, the room 4.1, and it was between like door 7 and 9 for some reason, like 8 and 9. And at some point, what really helped is we just started saying 4.1 out loud
as we were walking.
And someone was like, oh, 4.1, that's down this way. Crazy. That was the most helpful thing that happened.
Yes.
But yeah, when it was 6 o'clock and it was shutting, because PAX had a hard, like all of the attendees had to leave.
Because it would drag on. Like even the people running booths were like chatting to each other, playing each other's games still after that.
Exactly. So what they did is they have the workers for PAX, they're called enforcers. They're wearing
spooky.
Very spooky.
Creepy.
They're wearing a yellow shirt.
Yeah.
They all like lined up in the center of the convention, like a big long line down the length of the convention center, and all did a big like chant and a weird salute thing.
Yep, they raised their fist in the air.
They raised
their
fist.
Oh,
like, oh, this
what's
is weird.
this?
And then they did a big chant and then started just marching. Just this wall of yellow t-shirts pushing everyone out.
It was really effective.
It was really effective.
And they didn't do that the previous days, right? Because people could stay.
People could stay till 11:30. So for us, we were packing up and they'd come up to us and like, show us your badge. We're like, Jesus. Yeah, but that was terrifying. And then after they'd cleared everyone out, they did another big chant.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird. Very weird.
Very weird.
Very weird. But yeah, PAX was, it was a lot every single day. Friday, it was a lot to sort of get used to. On Friday, people were sort of just scouting things out, finding out what was there, trying to get things in, like plays in before Saturday when it was a big rush.
Because PAX is a convention for not just like board games, but what started with video games?
It's video games, and then the board game, like the tabletop game area, has expanded until it's basically half the convention center now, which is really cool.
Yeah, and so many like indie games, like the big companies were there, obviously, but so many just like people doing what you're doing, which is like, hey, I'm passionate about this, I'm gonna make it.
Same with the video game section.
That's true. Yeah.
There are a bunch of Australian indies. There was also a whole section for New Zealand indies as well, which was really cool. They all seem to have some pretty good games there. I didn't get to check any of them out.
I didn't walk around one. Well, I did it at 6:30. Yeah,
when everyone was packing up.
When everything was gone.
I got to walk around Saturday morning. I got there pretty early, before anyone, like just some exhibitors were there, not even all the exhibitors. So I did a big lap of the whole place. I had a nice chat to the people over at the Cult of the Lamb booth. That was cool. Got to actually like see what was at the big Nintendo. They had a big thing for the new Super Mario Wonder game. So I got to just like look at what was there, and look around at the indies because didn't get a chance to play anything, but got to look at what I could play if I wanted to.
Oh, imagine if I was just here for fun. Oh.
Yeah, but no, I didn't get any time really off on Friday, I didn't eat at all. I did bring muesli bars and, as I mentioned, like Red Bull and coffee and stuff. I brought a 10-liter box of water.
Yeah.
To
There's
make
now
sure.
9.5 liters of water left.
I was constantly talking to people, and so were the people helping.
Yeah.
Like, you were constantly talking to people. I forgot about this on Saturday and Sunday, but they gave us a QR code at the booth
To order food.
to
be
order
brought.
food to the booth. And on Saturday, I spent, because I'm vegetarian, and they had like a souvlaki truck. They had some
Like a schnitzel truck.
a schnitzel truck.
Like a hot dog truck.
By the time I got to the souvlaki truck on Saturday, when I was like, okay, I do need to actually make sure I eat, the vegetarian souvlaki was no longer there. So I had to go all the way to the front of the convention center. So through all the tabletop game section to the video game section, out to the front where there was a cafe.
Oh, right.
And I got a salad and like a little pastry thing there, like a Danish, because that was the only vegetarian stuff. And that took me like 40 minutes.
Wow, yeah.
Well, that was also going to those trucks, seeing what was there, going through the convention center, getting my food, coming all the way back and eating it. 40 minutes. That was the longest break I ever had.
Yeah.
And then while packing up on Sunday, I realized, oh shit, there's a QR code and I could have just ordered something.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
God damn.
So if you're doing this at any point, make sure you remember that QR code is there.
And bring scissors.
And bring scissors. Yeah, scissors were necessary.
Right,
and I brought some. I can't remember where they were though. But yeah, we also had to learn how to pitch on the go.
Yep.
Which was crazy.
We had like a little practice on the week before, like a couple of nights before, being like, how are people going to like react? And that was helpful. I think we were not wrong with some of that stuff, but there was definitely lessons once we got there on the Friday as well.
Yeah, and it evolved over the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Really found out how to refine it, how what information people were interested in. What also helped, big shout out to Jonathan at Incubator Melbourne, which is a board game designer group, specifically for playtesting games, before you as you refine them before you create them and launch them and manufacture them. He ran a basically preparation for conventions. I don't know what you call it, lecture kind of thing, along with Meeple University, the YouTube channel, and they gave really good tips on how to basically pitch your game at PAX specifically, because this was before PAX, how to pitch your game, how to demo your game as well, and how to make sure, there's good retention there and you're connecting well to the people who are playing. So that was really helpful for me. I took a bunch of notes and then relayed them to you, Reuben.
Yeah.
And then I think we used that pretty well on the days. So that was really helpful. But yeah, it's a lot of, okay, I've said this, but it's not very clear. Let me try and tweak my wording and simplify it so that I can really get it down.
Yeah.
So that was really good. What also helped was, the help that I had. 2 people was great. I could have used a third, to be honest.
Yeah.
But having one person like pitching, I was sort of standing at the front of the booth for a lot of it as people walked by and like stopped and had a look what was going on. And I sort of was like, hey, do you mind if I tell you a bit about this game? And most of the time they're like, yes, please. And then having the other person running games, so people were playing it all the time. That was really good. What else happened? It was just a crazy weekend. Oh, I'll explain a bit about the set as well, because I think.
Well, yeah, that was a huge part of. It's a huge part of the success and also a huge part of the work.
Yeah. So I think what's good talking about this now is just sort of explaining for anyone listening, if you're ever doing anything like this, just some tips on what helped. So having other people, making sure that you eat and drink water, bring throat lozenges. I did both of those and I wasn't able to consume them as much as I should have. My voice was fucked by 12 p.m. on every single day. Also, have something eye-catching was really, really helpful. Luckily, my game is like very bright and colorful, and also the set that I did, PAX gives you, for the tabletop rising area, which was what we were in, they give you a table and 4 chairs. And I called them up a while ago and I said, hey, I don't want those. I want to set up my space like a living room or something. party game vibes. Really want to set it up to be unique. And they said, cool. Focus on the game though. Focus on just making sure your game's ready and right for the show. And what I heard was not a no. I didn't hear a no. So I thought, you know what? I'm not going to push it right now. I'm going to get my set ready. And once it's all ready, I'll call them up and say, hey, I really don't want that. I don't want the table and chairs. And that's what I did. And the person there who I was talking to, Johnny, he's fantastic. He was like, great, if you've got it all organized, go for it. So Thursday before PAX, we were setting it all up. And it was a lot. We had to, I brought in a whole couch. I brought in a custom rug. Check out the Instagram Wrong Answers game, and you'll be able to see like the custom rug and the whole set. So that was a lot. Got whole shelving units and everything, and decorated the whole set like a sort of 70s vibe living room, and also had a competition running where there are a bunch of wrong items around the set, and people could scan a QR code, find as many wrong items as they could, and then they're entered into a giveaway where we were giving away a game every 3 hours.
People loved it.
We had over 100 submissions over the weekend. We sold over 60 games, maybe 70 games, and had over 100 submissions to the giveaway, which was crazy. But having that eye-catching stuff, like some of the stuff was like a glass Coke bottles and the packaging, but it says Pepsi. We had
but in the Coke font.
We had a lava lamp, but it had balloons in it instead of the lava. We had one that a lot of people didn't get was there was a Monopoly game box.
That one was so obscure.
With a monocle on the Monopoly man.
There was a Rubik's Cube with 7 colours instead of 6. 3D glasses, but they had both the same colour in both eyes. So they were just 2D glasses,
just regular
I guess.
glasses with like a red or blue tint.
My favourite were the plants. There was celery and asparagus just like in a pot.
As well as broccoli as well.
The broccoli, was looking old by Sunday night.
They were all looking, celery was looking bad by
I ate some of that
Friday.
celery.
Yeah, it was gross.
Bad. It was really bad.
Check out the Instagram if you want to see
I had to spit it out.
something
it was
bad once again.
But honestly, it's a brand at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many things.
There was a lot.
Just like DVDs and books with like wrong covers.
Yeah. But that really helped. People were like, oh, this is really strange. What is this? I also had a sign, the sign that had the QR code in bold letters up the top. It just said something is wrong. And people were like, oh, what's going on? What's happened? So that was really good. Also, people playing the game all the time was also great because people were like, oh, let me hear what's going on. Unfortunately, one of the most attractive things of the game to get new people in is hearing other people play the game. Which 100%. You didn't really get when it was so loud in the convention center. But hearing someone say like, Ernest Hemingway invented the Rubik's Cube, he was traveling all around the world and really needed something to keep his mind active on those long flights or like, what is a boat called? What's a boat?
Sea journeys.
Sea journeys.
Yeah, sail flights. What's the equivalent word?
I don't know. Boating? I don't know. Yep, swim. No, not swims. I don't.
And
it doesn't
time,
matter.
and then the people around go, "What was that? What was that?
What was that? Exactly.
I could do better than that."
Yeah. So unfortunately, like people couldn't hear other people saying these ridiculous things.
I don't know. Sometimes they definitely could hear the laughter, and that drew people in sometimes.
People, but that was really good. Also, if you're going to PAX, as I said before, Friday is the day that people scope out. Saturday's the day where everyone is there. Everyone is playing things, especially for the video games. They're doing events as well. All the main events are on Saturday. And then Sunday is the chill day. That's the people who are just sitting there, playing the board games, relaxing, and also buying all of the things that they've seen over the weekend. Yeah. We had double the sales on Sunday that we did on Friday or Saturday. Yeah. Which was amazing. Crazy. Yeah. It was a great time. It was a really, really good time. I did have on Friday and Saturday night, I had this like horrifying dread in my mind of, God, I have to do this again. I have to get up early and go to the convention center and come back late and all day standing on my feet. But it was great, and I probably would do it again at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I should cover about PAX?
I don't think so. I think it did pretty well. Yeah.
Also, I'd like to just say PAX is a
Huge.
great convention. Like the people there are really supportive. Like the people at PAX themselves, they've been really, really great. And I really appreciate what they're doing. Bringing tabletop games in and celebrating them, as well as the video games as well. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah. I will also say it was a very stressful time not only setting up the set, but getting the games for PAX.
Oh, boy.
My big plan with getting Wrong Answers Only done was getting it done by PAX, and boy, was it done by PAX. The ship arrived the Sunday before PAX, and then I got no information from anyone as to where the game was at all. I was calling up customs. I was calling up the Port of Melbourne trying to find out where it was. I got the info from the manufacturer that had gone through customs, but no more information. So I was calling up customs being like, can you just tell me who you gave it to? And they're like, yeah, it went through. I'm like, great, I know that. Who is the courier that you gave it to? And they're like, we don't know. Maybe go to the airport and ask the customs house there in person because they don't have a phone number. And then I was just stressing the whole week until midway through setting up on Thursday. I got a message from the manufacturer saying, we've stopped the shipment because it was going to be delivered here to us. We've stopped the shipment.
In China?
No. By here to us, I mean you and me, Reuben.
Here to where we're recording the podcast.
Yes,
that would be terrible. No.
It was going to be delivered specifically to this alcove in the stairway.
We could not fit we could fit 1,000 games in this alcove, but we wouldn't be able to get to the bathroom.
Exactly, which is like what happens every time we record a podcast, but that's fine. And they said, we've stopped it. It's out in Derrimut in the western suburbs of Melbourne at this address. Also, it wasn't, so we packed up and left. Luckily, we had a trailer that we brought the couch in on. We packed up and left and went out to Derrimut, and it wasn't even at that address. They sent the wrong address.
Oh my God.
I had to do YouTube metadata scouring to figure out what the real address was. And we finally got there, and they're like, yep, we have the games here. And it was 4:30 p.m.
On the day before PAX.
Exactly.
Opened at 10.
Which is like the business's, the
like
business
17
person's
hours.
witching hour.
Yeah.
It was as close as you could ever call it.
Literally.
But we got them, and they're for sale. So if you'd like to buy them, once again, Wrong Answers game. If you've ordered one, they're on their way to you if you don't already have it. Go follow Wrong Answers game on Instagram and get some updates as well. We got massive stuff coming up soon. Way too much to talk about right now, but it's really, really exciting.
One last thing on PAX.
Okay, yeah.
Just because you brought up picking them up. I was super vindicated twice through the weekend. One time was when that nightmare happened. I was like, that's exactly what I thought would happen. I thought you'd be like calling strangers, rocking up to like weird warehouses, like no one would have the info. And then like the event itself, I was like, I was wrong about the temperature, but I was like, it's going to be like crowded and loud and huge and packed. And it was all of those things. Like I walked around on Friday going like, oh yeah. Yeah, and especially on Sunday night when we were packing up, we all had to wear high vis. So they just had like buckets of high vis that you had to go and grab. And I was like looking around at everyone who, again, some of these people are experts or people who've done it before. Most of us are just like making it up or learning as we go. It's just this warehouse full of like boxes and chaos. And I was like, this is exactly what I thought. Not organized chaos. And I was like, this is exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
You hadn't been to a convention before either, had you?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Good experience? You enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Would you go to a convention if you weren't...
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
Like, actually...
Yeah,
like,
and I could get food and go to the bathroom and leave whenever I wanted.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Absolute dream. Yeah.
Maybe we should go to PAX next year. I'm hoping that maybe I have my game at other stalls, like distributors and other stalls by next year. And at that point, I don't need to be there to sell it because they're there to sell it. So that would be really nice. Would I recommend going to PAX and finishing it?
Yeah.
Look, if you have yes, do it. If you're making a tabletop game or a video game, or I guess if you just want to go, but specifically if you're making something, it is a great way to communicate and get to know other peers in the industry.
I was going to say that, all those like incidental things that happen.
Yeah. There are so many people that I would just not be able to get to know or connect with. I met the person who runs Mind Games, the game store that has stores all across Australia. I got to meet them. I got to meet one of the heads of Meeple, which is another games distribution company. There were so many people that I got to actually put myself in front of and say, hey, here's my game, where otherwise it would be emails
send an email into the ether and no one knows what it is.
Exactly. Yeah. So that was really, really good. Do it for that. It is a great experience. It will be tiring. Get as much help as you can. It is exhausting, but worth it. Who would I recommend it to? If you have got a indie game, or I guess any game, but like if you've got something that you're really proud of and want to expose, make sure you have your game there ready to go. That's really helpful. People do also launch their Kickstarters at PAX, and that works really well. But the best thing to do is have something there to sell, and that does the best. And make sure you're fully prepped for it. Also, I just recommend anyone go to PAX. If you haven't been to a convention, it's probably one of the ones where you can do the most at. Comic-Con and Supernova, they're fun. They have panels and stuff. That's good. But it's a lot of stores and stalls where you're buying things, whereas PAX has a lot of,
try it, competitions, tournaments, learn to play. So the like Magic the Gathering learn to play area was like separately fenced off, and it was like, I don't know, it must have been like at least 10 tables by 3. Like it was ridiculous.
There was also a bunch of tables for the collaboratory, which is where game designers, when they haven't made their game yet and they're still playtesting, they can get real people to come and playtest it. And that's really, really cool. That's run by the TGDA, the Tabletop Game Designers Australia.
Are they linked to, is Incubator the subsidiary, or are they separate?
They're separate, but they used to run the Incubator thing, and then they handed it off to Jonathan, who now runs it. Good friend of mine. Go, enjoy it. It's probably the nicest, most inclusive and supportive convention out of them all in my experience.
Also, get ready for the costumes, because people go so hard.
People go hard, probably not as hard as like Comic-Con or Supernova, but we had dragons walking around, like coming by the booth. Yeah. It was crazy. So good. That's what I finished. Reuben, what have you finished? Also, how much time do we have? Because I need to go somewhere.
Enough. We have Reuben, I have some stuff I need time. To do. We have like not much time.
Great.
But that's okay. I don't need much time.
Good.
Because what I have finished is watching from afar as the Hollywood writers go on strike.
When writers get delinquent checks and no residuals, then the system is...
Like it's finished. It's wrapped up.
What are you...
The writers' strike is over, everyone.
You really had nothing to talk about this episode. You're like, I don't know.
No, I had
writing
so many...
some documents for grants. I don't know. Something
I
someone
had so
else
many
is doing.
things.
The writers, what they finished, I guess.
I had so many things to talk about, but this is what I want to talk about. Just wait for the rest. There's more coming. Don't you even worry.
Tell me about the stupid writers and them wanting all the rights and money that they deserve or whatever.
Ridiculous. Well, I don't really want to go through like the history of it and like the complaints and stuff. I just want to talk about like what happened, like the result.
Okay. Can we just maybe give it a little bit of a rundown?
I was going to say, how important is context? Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll give
brief
context. I'll give context. So, basically, the writers in Hollywood, they have been underpaid for a long time. Often they are very much sidelined. Whether it's crediting them or paying them, not only them, but the actors as well. That's why the actors are currently still on strike. They started their strike not too long after the writers did. Basically, then there's been a lot of manipulating of their credits by the industry and the big production companies. Also with AI, Also, AI is just to talk about AI for a second, the AI that we know right now is not AI. It's not an artificial intelligence. It's machine learning. Yeah. It is taking an input and producing an output out of that information. That is similar to like how a real organism processes information, but it is so like less complex. You know, it's like, I don't know. Using a calculator would be a bad example. It's just not artificial. It's not an actual artificial intelligence. It's all like smoke and mirrors essentially. But with the rise of machine learning, these big production companies like, oh, we can take real writers' work, chuck it into the machine, and get them to produce new stuff. We can make a new episode of Doctor Who by just getting all the old episodes and saying, hey, write a new episode. And the writer's like, no, that is not only bad and it's not going to produce anything good or substantial, and it's going to like diminish the work of the whole industry, but also you're using all of these real writers' work to push it into the machine to get an output. So technically,
and you haven't paid those writers
them.
for any of the material that you're using as an input.
Exactly.
So it's theft.
So, yes, it's theft. So the writer's saying, we've had enough of this. We're all going to go on strike. And I just dropped my book. And I dropped my book in solidarity with the writers.
Yes,
I'm
no more writing.
No more writing. Your grants are not going to do well. You've done no more grants for you.
I've put it in. It's fine.
Oh, okay,
It's not struck.
I'm going on protest. I'm not writing a thing again.
Yeah.
Not until everyone gets paid what they should be. So, and everyone ever.
So never.
I'm never writing again. Yeah. Thank goodness. I hate writing. So that's kind of, they've said, no, we're not going to do this. Here are our demands. And the production companies for a long time have said, that's not reasonable. We can't spend the 2% of what our yearly earnings are, our yearly profits, not even earnings, but profits, on these writers to pay them appropriately. They're asking for too much. And the writers held their own, and the actors joined them, and a bunch of other people had joined them, and it's been really, really good. And now, what's happened?
They've ratified the final deal. So it's officially over and the writing will start again. Actors are still on strike and there are provisions in the writer's deal that they can respect actors' picket lines.
Great. Cool.
So that means, like, for example...
Give an example.
Like if a show, if one of the big production companies was trying to film something, maybe using some extras or maybe using like only CGI, like not using any of the actors who are in the Actors Guild.
Yeah.
And they wanted like their showrunners or a writer on to just help out because they're often on set. Yeah. The writers have a right to refuse that.
And also not often on set, but should be on set.
Should be on set.
Often, one of the things with the writer's strike is you'll have a showrunner, which is a name for a
writer and executive producer usually.
Yeah, exactly. And they should be on set to make sure everything is going as is written. And so, that's why they would be on set. But before this whole writer's strike, they would be
it's cheaper to just not have
showrunners. Yeah, exactly.
Just not employ you for those hours. Yeah. Or in that role, which is sometimes worth some additional money. Some other wins that they had. So the AMPTP, which is the basically the alliance of motion picture TV producers. That's the big studios.
Warner Brothers, Discovery, Disney,
Paramount, Netflix,
Fox.
Yeah. They have to share streaming hours with the Writers Guild.
Yes.
Now this isn't won't be public unless it gets leaked. Please leak it. WGA. And it's not necessarily assigned per show. A lot of them are aggregate numbers, but it's better than nothing because what that means is the studios can no longer say, 4 people watched that. Yes. When it's like, well, no, it was watched for 17 million hours. Yeah. So, and the reason that's important is because that's where residuals are derived from.
Yes.
And when it was screening on traditional cable TV, we could all see those hours. But since the rise of streaming, they've just been made up, more or less.
Also, studios can no longer say, this is the best movie that we've ever done. We swear. It's our number one.
Red Notice is the biggest movie ever.
Yeah. It's like, well, tell us the numbers then. Give us the numbers. They're like, no, trust us. We have the numbers. It's like, but share the numbers. Occasionally those numbers have been leaked, but not often. So to have those be publicly available and, well, at least available to the writers is going to be very good so they can say, hey, we're meant to get 0.2% of the profits for, I wrote this show, so I should get that. And if you've earned this much from this amount of views, then...
And there's a couple of changes based on... like proportional viewing, which is new, which is like if I think it's within the first 90 days or the first 90 days of any consecutive year, if at least 20% of the domestic subscribers for a streaming service watch something, there's some extra money in it for the writers. Yeah. So that's an interesting weird one.
It's like if just with the streaming stuff, it's like if it was the reverse where you paid Netflix per show, like per hours that you watched. And you got to like submit those hours.
Yeah.
You had your TV running all the time on Netflix, and you just count like the hours that you're sitting down. You're like, okay, cool. Yeah, no. I only watched it for like 5 minutes because I was sitting down watching Sex Education for 5 minutes, and then I was
preparing for PAX,
preparing
which was
for PAX.
The major activity I was doing was not watching the show.
Exactly.
Well,
So it's like, well, so I should really only be paying like $2 for this instead of the full whatever.
Like I go to work and I punch a time card, right?
Yeah.
But it'd be like if I punched a time card and it came back up blank, and then at the end of the week my employers just wrote a number in there.
Yes.
And they're like, I guess you work 4 hours this week. And I'm like, I did 31. Like, what are you on about?
Yeah, it's like that, except your employer only like writes down when they actually physically saw you. So every time they looked at you, they'd like do a timestamp, and then when they looked away, they put another timestamp. Like, well, I was only watching.
And
you
also,
for, like,
they didn't
2
give me the
seconds.
time card. They just paid me 4 cents and said, I don't know. That's all. That must be all you worked.
Estimating what I did. Yeah.
They wanted initially the writers asked for a 16% pay rise over 3 years. They got 12.5, so 5% and 4%, 3.5.
That's good.
That's pretty good. Studios must disclose the use of AI if it's given to writers as source material.
Great. Good.
Writers' rooms minimum sizes were increased, which is a huge thing. I've never, I don't fully grasp why this one is important, but I heard so many writers say it, and so I believe them that it's important, and the minimums have been increased. The specific number is a bit weird, but often it's like a minimum of 6, depends on the type of show, the number of episodes.
We were watching
else.
Loki just the other day, and there was one writer credited.
Yeah.
At least in the opening credits. I'm like,
Cannot be true.
Yeah. No, can't be true. Well, the rest could be AI. Who knows?
Who knows?
They could have just chucked all of the Loki season 1 were like, I don't know, write a sequel
more of this,
for us.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. A 0.5% increase to the healthcare payments in the second year of the agreement. I don't know, it doesn't sound like much. I've also realized whenever people talk about healthcare in America, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's the closest thing they have to super, but worse because they don't have super.
Yeah, you get your healthcare through your employer, which is so stupid instead of... Well, no, because it's also... You get healthcare benefits of like I'm pretty sure your employer... Basically what we have with like Medicare here, where it's like this stuff is standard and covered. So like if you need dental every year, that'll be covered by Medicare. I don't think
Dental's
that's
not
true.
in Medicare. It's a huge thing for the Greens.
Name another thing what is in Medicare?
Oh, I don't know. Emergency procedures are there. Some of the mental health stuff is subsidized.
Let's take mental health, for example.
Yeah.
If you need like 10 sessions of mental health, like you want to go to a therapist for just like 10 sessions, that's covered by Medicare. They're like, yep, absolutely. Mental health is a real issue. Sure. Everyone gets that. But in America, if you have like, I don't know, a job at Walmart, you might not get anything like it because that's not covered by the government.
Yep.
But then if you have a job at, I don't know, like
Apple
or like IBM or like a larger company, they might say, oh, no, we actually cover 10 mental health care sessions. If you're working for us, we'll pay for that. No,
that's wild.
So the healthcare is covered by who you're working for, not by the government.
Fact that you're a human being with rights.
Exactly. So it also means that people who have connections already and are able to get a job where that's covered are benefited, which are often more privileged and wealthy people, and people who can't have that just don't have healthcare. It's bad and very bad. It's those two things. It's bad and it's also very bad.
Yeah.
Might also be extremely bad, but...
might be extremely bad.
I don't know. I need to live there long enough to be able to tell you. So...
Freakish stuff. So that's a list of some of the big wins that stuck out to me. There's a bunch more details in there. Also, as you say, the actors are still on strike, and that's an important one to win. And the VFX artists for some of the big companies, so the people who put the CGI together, have... unionized. They've ratified a vote to
unionize. Oh my God, amazing.
Because their conditions are, it's not a competition, but probably the worst. They have it the worst.
They have it very badly.
And so they're not striking currently, but we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. Fingers crossed they do. More strikes are more good. I mean, we won't get any good or any content really at all in the next while. You know what they might do?
Well, we've got it for the next while, then there's going to be this weird gap.
Yes. Maybe they'll release Batgirl. Maybe Warner Discovery will release Batgirl if they don't have anything to release.
David, just release it.
Just release it.
Just release it, you absolute madman. You're such a bad person and CEO. It's finished. You've made a whole movie.
You finished Batgirl. Just release it. Just put it out. We get it. You don't like... I don't know. I was going to say you don't like women of color and people, diverse people.
Probably just thought it was going to lose money.
Probably. Yeah. Could just have it as a write-up. But you know what? Maybe if I say that David's racist, then he'll
Feel the
be
need
like,
to release it?
yeah, to prove
Yeah.
you're not. So, prove you're not, David.
I didn't watch The Flash. I would have watched Batgirl.
Yeah.
So
I did watch The Flash.
you
And
would have watched Batgirl twice.
I would have watched
wouldn't you?
Batgirl twice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have watched The Flash twice too.
Would you?
I don't know. Maybe. I'd watch it
Really?
again if you wanted to watch it.
I don't want to watch it.
Okay, great.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah, if you wanted to.
I don't want to watch it, but I'm weighing up, like, is it going to be more, like who is going to be caused the most pain by watching it? And if it's you, then I'll, I'll take a small hit to
I'll
watch
tell
yourself
you that
through
it
a
causes
second
me
time.
more pain when I know it'll cause you more pain.
Damn, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't take that chance.
So, I don't know, are you going to recommend finishing a writer's strike?
Yeah,
Are you going to recommend joining a union?
yeah.
Are you going to
it.
recommend, who are you going to recommend those things to?
Everyone
Everyone.
who's working.
How are you going to do that? Are you going to take that into practice in your life?
Probably not. Probably
No.
going to forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a dancers union?
No, there's a performing arts something,
Okay.
which I should look into, actually.
Yeah.
And there's a,
Mhm.
there's a Writers Guild of Australia, for example,
Yeah.
so there's that. Oh, they're probably called a union here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's not, I think if I joined a union at this point, since Wrong Answers Only is the work that I'm doing the most on, I'd just be like joining a union against myself. Which
Oh,
is,
because you employ yourself more than anyone else
I
employs
am a sole
you.
trader. I
Yeah.
employ myself.
Yes.
So I might do that. We'll see.
Just to have arguments where you're running around each side of the dinner table, having like really intense negotiations.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Big 40-page contract in the middle of the table. You just keep spinning around. We
Is
can't live with this bit. Well, we can't live with this bit.
Oh shit, the paper's falling on the ground.
Oh,
Hold on,
God, hang on.
No, I got it. No, I got it. No, I got it. No, I got it. I got it. Don't worry. We're good. Me,
Thank goodness.
which is both of them.
Yeah.
We actually touched hands in the middle.
Oh.
It was real romantic.
Oh, you had a whole moment.
We had a little moment,
You're
me
like,
and me.
why are we being separated by capitalism when we could be connecting human
Exactly.
to human?
And then I joined the union as well. Two of me joined in the union.
My goodness.
Against
you need
no
two
one.
of you to manage all the work you've got.
That is true.
But it's only one of you.
Do you have a cloning machine?
No.
I would love a cloning machine.
Oh.
Should I start employing more people? And by more people, I mean not just be myself. Oh, then I have to create a whole business that
Then
isn't
you-
just me.
Exactly.
Oh, Reuben, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do.
That sounds like a lot.
I know what to do. See
What?
an accountant.
Yeah, I need to see an accountant. I
Yeah.
booked one for tomorrow.
Oh, great.
And by I booked one for tomorrow, I mean I'm planning on booking one for tomorrow. I haven't done it yet, but I
Okay.
found an accountant that I can book for tomorrow.
Okay.
So in my head, I booked it for tomorrow.
Well, that hasn't happened in real life.
I was
Just-
going to book it for today.
Yeah.
I had a podcast. So I need
you
to
have a
rush off to
podcast.
do that.
And actually, we've got to rush off, so
Yeah.
we should keep this moving.
yeah, so I can see my
Yeah.
accountant.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
What's the next section called?
The next section, blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
That's our new section. Blah, 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 blah.
And then we fold with up and up, right?
Yeah, then we do up and up. That was the section. That was
Yeah.
the section that was
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And now
Yeah.
we have up and up.
Cool.
Every time I'm bringing it up, I'm talking about up and up. Not the theme song.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yep.
I'll go first. I need to find my book though.
And are you doing absolute chaos? Are you doing, what are you following? Are you doing,
What do you mean absolute chaos?
last week you were like, I'm changing the order.
Reuben, I'm a very normal person, and I only
You're
do
crazy
a
and you'll
specific
do
set of
anything.
things. I'm a
That's
very
not-
normal person, and I only do a
That's
specific
wrong on both
set of
counts.
things.
Two wrongs don't make it right.
So I'm going to go with
You're
the
crazy and you'll
normal
do
order, which
anything.
is coming up and then following up.
Sure is.
How we normally do it.
Sure is.
Every time. Because I am a regular person.
Except for that.
And I
Weird
only do a
episode.
normal set of... Wait, what did I say?
What are you
It doesn't matter. I'm coming up. We're going to see Oppenheimer.
We sure are.
That's my accountant
still-
at 3 o'clock. I'm going to...
Oh, yeah?
I've told... Look, I double booked.
Okay, so
I
you're just going to do
double-booked.
a Zoom call from
No,
the cinema?
the accountant's coming to the cinema.
Oh, yeah, you're just going to like slowly hand
I'm
receipts
actually
back
getting-
and forth and
I'm
like
actually-
shine your phone torch on them.
Yeah, I'm actually getting more time. Before I'd get like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, yeah. But
That was what it was booked in. But then
Yeah,
I called
you
the
get-
accountant. I said,
yeah.
look, I have double booked. I am going to see Oppenheimer.
Mhm.
If you would like to come, I'll buy a seat for you right next to us. And we can do the accounting. And so I'm actually getting 3 hours out of this instead of just the regular hour. Which I hope will be a fine. It's a fine setting. Like an IMAX theater should be good to do accounting
Yeah.
in. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Cool.
Can't foresee any issues.
Do you have a table or anything that I can put
No.
documents on?
No.
Oh, I was hoping to have
But
a
it's a
little
movie
romantic
about a
moment.
bunch of documents and talking, so
That's going to distract the accountant.
that's true.
Shit.
But think about it. They only need to be paying attention for like one of every 3 minutes.
No. I want the whole 3 hours.
Oh, you need 3 hours?
I need 3 hours.
You've gone about this the wrong way, my friend.
I have a little note here. So I have coming up, and then I've only written one note, and it just says gay, ?
That's fun.
Oh, no, it says yay. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
It says yay. My Y looks like a G. It was either gay or yag.
Yag.
Yeah, it says yay. I knew that we were going to see Oppenheimer, but it's completely out of my mind as the thing that's happening. So, yeah. Do you want to hear my following up now, or do we want to switch?
No,
okay.
let's hear your following up.
Okay, my following up is the perfect sound whatever thing that I'm doing, where I'm listening to a new album every single day of this year. I packed through
this
me,
weekend, yeah.
and I have I this morning am halfway through the last day of September, and it's currently almost 2 weeks into October, and so I have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, that's probably the furthest behind you've been to date.
Yeah, maybe. It's a bit
pretty
of a
close,
worry.
yeah.
So I really need to catch up on that. So what I'm going to do,
You're going to triple book.
I'm going to triple book. I'm going to be watching Oppenheimer. Well, I'm just going to be in the theater while watching Oppenheimer, and then I can
because
also,
your eyes are doing something else and your ears are doing something else.
yeah, which also means that I can I'll just pay IMAX the amount of time that I'm looking. I'll get the ticket cost.
Yeah, you'll pay them residual for the amount of.
I'll
minutes
divide it by
yeah.
how much I'm actually watching it, and then I'll also do the same with The Accountant. So it'll be pretty split, and then I'll also have headphones on, and I'm going to be
listen
listening
to like 2 or 3 whole albums.
Yeah, no, quite as many as I can. I'll have it on 2 times speed, so like heavy metal blasting the whole time. I think it'll be an overall good experience. Also, I'm just going to have to ignore you the whole time. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I triple booked myself, so
yeah.
that's my plan for my coming up and following up.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
What's your up and up?
Well, we are so short on time that I don't know if I want to.
Same. Go.
Okay.
We'll do 2 times speed.
Okay.
Look, and I'm turning it on 2 times speed.
Well, my coming up was Oppenheimer, so thank you for doing
hitting
that one. I'm
things.
going to double speed. Everything moves faster. And my coming up. What did I say?
Wait, what's your coming up?
My coming up is the referendum.
Okay.
Which is like a longer. Well, no, it doesn't have to be a longer conversation. Look, by the time this goes out, everyone listening will know what has happened. And statistically, it will probably be a no. It's like 49-43 at the moment, and it's been going nothing but down.
Okay.
And it might even be like no in every state, maybe. So
wow. That's not good.
That's bad.
That's actively bad.
And I would just say to people, I guess I would say that's going to be sad and confronting to think about what kind of country we are, but like use this as a moment to. We've all learned a bunch and talked a bunch over the last 6 months or a year, or many of us have. Most of us haven't, actually. That's the problem. But for those of us who have kind of engaged with this, use that as a springboard, not to go, oh, that went down, it's worth giving up, but to say, like, right, how else can we listen to First Nations voices? What else can we do?
Yeah.
What programs and projects and ways of thinking are working? And let's get in contact with our representatives and make sure they keep doing those.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
For sure.
Yeah.
So this is going up after the...
Yes, the referendum Saturday. This will be out Wednesday.
Okay. Yeah. We'll see how we go. Hopefully next week there's maybe on the next episode we're like, big following up. It actually...
A huge surprise.
It actually went well. And
it would be the... And I mean, there's some sign... a lot of the politicians and journalists who are talking to people on booths are reporting that it's a bit better for yes than the polls are looking. And there's a lot of optimism that in this last couple of weeks, like just one-on-one conversations can shift the dial. Yeah. But for this to turn around, it would have to be a bigger polling mistake than the 2019 election, which was like completely surprised everyone when Scott Morrison won. So like statistically, that would be astounding.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. I have hope. Maybe you're listening to this
That's
now
nice.
and you're like, Jett, you're a fucking idiot. Why do you have hope? We already know what it is. I don't. It's a week away. Who knows? Yeah. What's your following up?
I don't really have any.
Name one. Just name a following up.
Name a following up.
Follow up on something.
Oh, okay. Guts is really good, and I've been listening to it so much.
Great.
And I've decided that I think my favorite songs are Get Him Back still and
great.
Love Is Embarrassing, which really that was a slow burn, and now I'm like, this is banger.
Yeah, that one's really good. Nice. I like it. I've also been listening to it a lot. I know it's been taking away time from listening to PSW.
No, perfect sound, whatever, if you're gutsy.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to go. I need to go make sure my
You gotta
accountant's
go.
going to be at the cinema on time, and I got to be at the cinema on time. And also, maybe, I don't think you get service in the IMAX theater, so I've got to download all the albums I need to listen to. And also, I don't think I can do 2 times speed on Spotify, so I'll have to, like, I don't know, download them
You
and
have
then set
to
them up.
open iTunes again.
Yeah, maybe put them in podcasts or something, because you
Yeah.
can do it in that. I don't know. I gotta rush. Reuben.
You
I gotta
gotta
go. Wrap up the show so I can leave, please.
Great, no worries. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you want to get in contact with us, you can find us at stinishedit@gmail.com.
Wait, do we have mail?
We have mail, but there's no time.
Shit. Okay.
Mail
all right.
next week. That's a teaser.
Okay. Mail
Coming
next
up,
week.
mail.
We're gonna
You've
do
got mail.
We got mail. Who's got mail? You got mail.
You've got mail. You've got mail, but specifically you, Jett. Is that the joke we had last time?
I don't know.
It
It's
didn't
been
make
so
any
long.
sense. Thank you to Hetty for our wonderful podcast art.
Woo. Nice.
It looks great.
Great.
We love it.
Did you say get in contact with us?
I did, yeah.
Great.
We're at I almost said Wrong Answers Game on Instagram. That's not it. We're at Stinished It on Instagram.
Stinished It on
Jett's at
Instagram.
Wrong Answers Game on Instagram.
I am. Brilliant.
Is this just plugs now? Great. Love it.
We do an end plug.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
I gotta go. I gotta run.
We gotta go.
We gotta go. What?